In this video, I'm going to show you how you can load dynamic content in based on the URL parameters of your website or app. So to start with, I'm just going to jump over to this tab where I've got a list of my events. And if I click this event, it will open up the edit page. And in the bottom left of the edit page, I can click this I. Now, this shows me here the Fluoro ID of the item. So everything in Fluoro has a universally unique ID. And if I click this, I can copy it to my clipboard. And many of the items in Fluoro also have what's called a slug or a readable ID. Now, this can be editable by you. It just has to be unique within your account. So this Glow Kids event has a readable ID of Glow Kids. That's obviously easier to remember. This is oftentimes auto-generated, but as mentioned, you can change it. Now, this is important to know purely because this is what we're going to use to load our content into our website. So let's go back to our website page here, and under apps and then websites, I'm going to click new website. And here it's going to ask me for my templates if I want to pick a template, but I'm just going to click blank site. And here I'm going to write tutorial site, and we'll click continue. Now I've got nothing on this page, which is fine. I'm going to create a new page, and here I'm going to create a new page called event detail. And for the URL here, I'm going to get rid of that. So it's just /event. And you'll notice that the page ID has been automatically generated down here. But I'm going to do a /:, and then I'm going to write the word event. Now, this can be whatever you want it to be. This can be event, it can be content, news. It's basically a variable name that I'm creating. Now, typically, I may just call it slug. If I do event and then :slug, it's going to be really obvious what I'm going to expect there, which is a slug. Now, if I hit next, here I can put some content on my screen. So let's just put a HTML block on the screen like that. And if I wanted to, I can click up here. You'll see that there's a little example browser bar. And that's because Fluoro's realized that because we have this : here, Fluoro understands that that's going to be a dynamic variable that may change. So we can emulate that change when we're designing things in the app builder, in the website builder designer panel that we're on now. It's going to see that we're going to expect this to change. So if I click up here, I can actually emulate that change by writing Glow Kids. And you'll see that it's changed there, but nothing's really changed over here. But what has happened in the background is Fluoro's gone and loaded the content into the fluoro.app, so $fluoro.app.page.items, and now there's an item.slug. So it's realized that the slug variable, we must have typed a slug in there, and it's gone and tried to load that content, and it's been successful. And here we can then grab the pieces of content from that slug that we want to print onto the screen. So I can stick that up here onto our H1, and you can see here now it says Glow Kids Saturday. And we can also grab other information from there. So we can get the page item slug, and we can use a filter readable event date, something like that. And you can see we can get the date of that event, and we can just use this to continually add more and more content on the screen and lay it out how we want it. So we've got Glow Kids Saturday, and yeah, we can spit out more information. Now, if I go up here and I change this to like another slug that I know of, Glow Conference, you'll notice that that will then change the content here as well. It's gone and loaded a different slug and different content in here. Now, this works with slugs. It also works with unique IDs. So if we click here and click the Fluoro ID, we can also paste in the Fluoro ID there, and it will realize that that's a Fluoro ID, and it will go and load the content in a similar way to the slug. Oftentimes with websites, you'll want to use this slug because it gives you better search engine optimization, having the text, like human readable text in the URL. But yeah, you can use either way. You can also use whatever variable name you'd like. It doesn't have to be slug. It can be anything. It's just that it will be added to your page items with whatever variable you use there. So if we type in event, and up here we change this to event, then we paste in, or we write in Glow Kids, you'll see there that it's gone and loaded the Glow Kids and it's added it onto our items as event. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, I'm going to go back to my home page, and I'm going to search for the list block, a list view block. I'm going to drag that onto the screen, and this is a really basic block that just loads content. So from here, I'm going to click the data type, I'm going to search for event, and we just want to load a number of events. So we'll find the event option there, and you'll see here it's loaded those 4 upcoming events. And then here I can choose link to page, and I want to link to the event detail page. And down here you can see how it's working, where it's repeating this HTML for each event. That's what the list view does. And then I've got the fluoro link tag with a to attribute, which is linking to the page name, which is specified up here, and then parameters. And just by default, it's sending the item ID and the item slug. But what we're going to do is we don't need either of those. We're going to link to event, and then we're going to link to the item.slug, something like that. And now I can test it over here by clicking Glow Conference, and you'll see it links me to the Glow Conference page. And if we just go back to the home page and I click Glow Kids Saturday, it will then load and take me to the Glow Kids Saturday. So we're using one template for the page, but depending on what information keeps swapping in and out of here, it's changing the content on the screen. And now what we can do is we can click select realms. We'll just stick it in a realm for this example, and we'll hit save, and we'll hit save and publish the first time. And then now I can click domains, and we can add a new application. So I'm just going to use this by default, the tutorial site. I'm going to click continue, and for authentication, I'm just going to leave it as application, go to application permissions, and I'm just going to give, just for example's sake, view only access to this whole realm. And we'll add that. We'll add this to that realm as well, this application, and we'll hit save. And what that will then do is make that so we're live, so I can click and check out that URL. And I'll just hit save and publish. It's because I need that domain to exist before we can create the snapshot. And there we go. Now we have our website. And if I click Glow Kids Saturday, it'll actually take me to my website /event Glow Kids, and it'll load that content. I can click back, and I can click go Glow Conference, and then it'll load the Glow Conference. I can click back. I can click Sample Event 2, and it'll load Sample Event 2. And you'll see that as these URLs change, just like this, it loads the content in the background and then actually spits out the details, the actual information, if I can get that correct. Well, whatever mistake I just made then, I'm sure you will not make the same mistake. If you click this event, Glow Kids, yep, cool. That's how it works. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Yeah.